Okay, so I wanted to give you a garden update on what the garden looks like now to compete with the roosters here this morning. As you can see, our strawberry bed filled in very nicely. This strawberry bed and the third one over there. So the strawberries have done very well. However, here's the problem. The strawberries used to be up to the top of this bin. This is one oopsie that we have made, is that we didn't think about all the breakdown of the mulch and the straw, and now that it's decomposing, it's obviously lowering the strawberry bed. So that will be a task that has to be done, that these need to be taken out, restructure the soil they're in underneath so that it doesn't keep lowering as it decomposes. So that was one oopsie we had here to be out in the open with you. We like to show what works and what we have found doesn't work, and I'm not going to hide anything. That is where we're at. These all used to be at the very top of the box and have sunken down. So we're going to try nothing but dirt next season to fill these, so that we're not dropping down as low as we have dropped down. As you can see, it's pretty significant. Moving on to the Brussels sprouts. As you can see, we are dealing with, see if I can get in on this guy here. We are dealing with slugs in the garden. And as you can see, they've gotten a hold of the Brussels sprouts. And now I looked up online and it said that you can mix a mixture of beer, yeast, and sugar and put it in a small dish, and it will draw them to it, making them drown so that they're not into your plants anymore. Does anybody else have another suggestion? Or have you tried that and it worked? I do not want to put powder and chemicals on everything, so I'm looking more for a natural way to get rid of these lovely slugs. But as you can see if we can get in there, the Brussels sprouts are doing well. For now, I got to keep those slugs off of there. And they also devastated the cabbage bed. They have just destroyed the cabbage. And there's a little guy down there now. Definitely a fail of not maintaining that. Something we need to work on for next year. Other than that, the cabbage did really well in the raised bed. I probably have them in way too tight together. I didn't weed the seedlings out when they came in. I just wanted to see what they would do. So next year we definitely need to weed that out better also. Now the peas down in front. Yes, we hear you. The peas down in front that I planted have done really well. I have harvested a lot of pea pods off of this one particular plant. Here's a couple more. Ready to go. Yes, good morning. I did string them up, but my string was not heavy enough to hold them, or I didn't have it pulled tight enough. So next year we're going to want to have a better system, because this plant would have grown all the way up a trellis of some form. And right now this poor guy is just laying on the ground. So, in the box. So we definitely need a better trellis system next year, because I thought these strings would hold. It's just regular orange twine, and that was not strong enough. This is the old russet potato bed. It did not have enough dirt in it. As you can see, the dirt is not very thick. We should have done more dirt in there. We did get a nice bucket of potatoes out of there, but they were all very small. The red potato bin had a lot more dirt in it. We got a lot more of the red potatoes out of here. We did get a lot more red potatoes out of here. So definitely, I think more dirt is the key. Then there's the lettuce. Here's the lettuce. Totally overgrown. I totally let it just go crazy. It definitely did well in the box system that we had. We had a ton of lettuce. It was the sweet salad mix, and it did not taste very sweet, and it was quite bitter. So I don't know if anybody has a suggestion there, or if that was just the brand that I used. It was not good, so I just let it grow, and we've been feeding this to the chickens. They love it. I also was able to grow sage. I found a seed packet of sage, so I stuck it in the ground. It's doing well. What do I do with it, guys? I've never grown sage. It was just a seed pack I had that I was gifted, and I planted it. I've never grown it before, and I'm not sure what I do with it at this point. So if you could leave it in the comments, if you've grown sage and what you do, that'd be fantastic, because I'm not sure. Are you helping? Yes, you are. A couple of the pepper plants were left. Those are the sweet banana pepper plants that are in here, and they were looking like this, very small and spindly. So I removed most of them and stuck my pepper plants here around the corner there into the dirt, thinking that would help, and it did, as you can see. Minus all of the weeds, they just took off once they hit regular dirt. They have been producing like crazy. So I'm not sure if the mulch was the problem, watering was the problem, because they got watered every day, but for some reason they have just really flourished in the dirt. But these plants here have just really exploded in the dirt, so I think next year I'll just be planting the peppers directly into the dirt and skip the box next year, unless anybody has a suggestion on that. It just seems like the dirt was the overall better choice. These are the cayenne peppers, and those are doing really well. All the plants are loaded with those. So those are doing well. And then in the back here, we have the jalapeno peppers, and those plants are loaded as well. This is our corn. The corn is done for the season. It did us well. We yielded, see, off of this section here, I believe 12 rows, I want to say here, that go down to the white barn. We got about 15 dozen of corn off of the 12 rows here. They were awesome, big, full ears of corn, so sweet, so fresh. It tasted awesome. Now, I embarrassingly say that this section here is not a weed garden. It is actually our winter squash, and somewhere in this grass is butternut and acorn squash, but the plants vined out. We planted them again too closely, and we're not able to get in there and till it up, and we ignored the fact that we should have gotten in there, and wow, these weeds just took over. So we will be harvesting it. It's going to be hard to tell when it is ready, but that is a project that we now have to tackle by getting the weeds out and finding the produce, because I do not want anything to go to waste. So we have our job cut out for us. Does anybody know, have you tried to grow winter squash on a cattle panel vertical in a garden? Does the squash get too heavy to hold on that, or is that something we could look at doing? The beans are pretty much done. So we gave up on really getting in there much. They've produced what they're going to produce. But the beans are in here. Again, next year, we planted the rows too close together. Couldn't get the tiller through. And after standing on our head this year, trying to pick the beans, I'm definitely going to go vertical with them next year. So it'd be easier to pick and you don't have to worry about all this weed base. Hi, buddy. Are you following? Are you gonna be a helper? Yes. You're a good boy. This used to be where the cucumbers were. They were done and we pulled the plants already because they were done. They produced like crazy this year. So definitely a good spot for the cucumbers. They did very, very well. We just let the grass take over where they were at. It was dirt when we pulled them all, but really no need to. We'll just till that up in the fall. Now, okay, are you ready for our epic fail? Because this is our epic fail, not my flowers. My flowers turned out great this year. I love my flowers. But here's my epic fail. It is the tomato patch. I am so disappointed. Now, first of all, let me say, as you can see, the plants are absolutely loaded with tomatoes. That is not my problem. We have tomatoes coming out of everywhere. They produced like crazy. I couldn't be happier in that department as to how many tomatoes are on each plant. And they have tasted fantastic and have done us well selling at the farm stand. But it's the way the garden looks that is so disappointing. So, number one, what not to do. They're planted way too close together. We staked them to a stake by using the little ties, and when we ran out of those, I used more of the yellow twine. Okay, here's where I went wrong. As the plant grew, I did move this up the pole, but I should have left this one down below and kept adding these little twist ties as it went up the pole. And I didn't do that. So now I have a very, you can see this stake wasn't in good enough. I have a very heavy plant that has just toppled over. They are on the ground. I am so disappointed. I mean, this thing is loaded with tomatoes, but the top of it, I think, here's its stake. The top of it is over here. I did not stake them all the way up the stake like I should have done. So here is our green twist tie. It's just coated wire. It's still holding the plant. The plant's still up there. But as the plant got heavier and I didn't do more twist ties up on top, the plant split from the weight. So I can get it to focus there. It split from the weight of the tomato toppling over. Most of them look like this. Now, it's still producing, even though its main stem has been pretty much destroyed. It's still allowing the plant to stay alive, and they have still produced. Now, I tried to go back and pick them up and correct them. When you do that, this would snap off. So I've left them alone, letting them do their thing. I'm so heartbroken because they were gorgeous plants. And now, as you can see, you can't walk through the aisles that we had created because it is just tomatoes falling over everywhere. So, I think next year we need to have more of a cattle panel fencing type system that can support the weight of these awesome tomatoes. They have just grown. I mean, these plants are huge. So if anybody has fantastic ideas of how to stake up your tomatoes so that they hold better, shoot them on over to me in the comments, because I can't have this happen again. This has not been fun trying to walk between here and collect all the produce from the vine. It's made it a little bit challenging. Are you still helping? Good morning. They enjoying the flowers, Moose? The sunflowers have grown tremendously well. I've never been able to grow sunflowers to this height or with this massive of a head. So we had very good dirt for that this year. Okay, this is the zucchini and summer squash bed. It is done. The plants are ready to be pulled. We had a great season with the yellow squash and zucchini. This is our watermelon bed. You're saying, Amy, those aren't watermelon. You're right. So this was all planted with watermelon and only one plant came up. So what did Amy do when it was super hot out and she couldn't think straight? Well, I thought, oh shoot, I have pumpkin seeds. I'll make it the pumpkin patch. Well, they grew. They did well. And now they're ready. And you think, what's the problem with that? Well, it's August. I planted them way too early. And, oops. So hopefully somebody wants some pumpkins to decorate with. Hi, Moose. Yes. We have several of the minis that are just about ready to go. But yeah, they, oops, who wants an August pumpkin? Thanks for watching the tour of our garden and seeing all the things that worked and didn't work. I believe in being totally open. I'm not going to try to think that I'm this master gardener, because that I am not. We have gardened before for several years, but never a garden of this magnitude. So it was fun getting in there and getting our hands dirty to see what works and what doesn't work. And I thought that was a snake. I had to look down for a minute. Sorry, I don't do snakes. Anyway, it was fun, and it was fun putting things in the freezer, and it was fun putting some of it on our farm stand to sell, to share with people. We look forward to doing it again next year. We hope you continue to join us. If you could please hit the subscribe and the like button, it sure would help out our family to know that you're liking the videos and that you're following along with us. And be sure to hit the bell too, so every time we come out with a new video, you'll be sure to be alerted that there's one out there for you to watch. But thanks for coming along with us and our family. We really appreciate it. Until next time.